Quick question for you. Who helps you remember who you are when you forget who you are? Who are your people? The ones that hold you accountable to your best self, who laugh with you, listen to you, and remind you you're not alone. Because here's the reality. No one builds a good life alone. Welcome back to the Good Life Lab, where we experiment with and explore tools, tips, and techniques for boosting our mental health and well-being, improving our lives, and finding greater meaning and purpose. And we're on day 11 of this series of moving from languishing and loss to a good gay life. I've been sharing with you this framework I've come up with called COMPASS, COMPASS, and we are actually on the A in COMPASS, which stands for allies, tribe, and accountability. This is a coordinating point that could really turn everything from theory to transformation, because it involves other people and leaning into our sense of community and tribe for support and encouragement. As usual, I give you a little bit of research to back up what I'm talking about. There's a Harvard study, the longest of its kind, about relationships and happiness and what helps us build a good life. They've done this for 85 years now. And basically, it's concluded one thing. The single strongest predictor of health and happiness isn't wealth, success, or fame. It's the quality of our relationships. The current director of the study is Dr. Robert Waldinger, and he puts it this way: good relationships keep us happier and healthier. Period. I've mentioned another researcher as well, Emily Esfahani-Smith, who wrote a book called The Power of Meaning, and she identifies 4 pillars of meaning that contribute to having a healthier, happier, more meaningful life. And one of those pillars is belonging. But she's careful to say that belonging doesn't just mean being surrounded by people. It means being seen, valued, and accepted for who you truly are. And for queer men, that's even more crucial and complicated, because a lot of us grew up feeling isolated and alone because of how culture has told us what we're feeling is not okay. Which means part of our journey towards a good life as queer people involves creating new networks of belonging, what we often call chosen family. These connections aren't just comforting, they're life-giving. In my case, they're life-sustaining. It's just helped me survive. Communities have helped me survive, literally. On a fundamental biological level, they also have the effect of regulating our nervous system, reducing stress, and according to the Harvard research study, extending our lifespan. If you've listened to my videos on this channel, you hear this as a common theme in how I built my tribe. But I think it's important to remind you because a lot of times we feel alone in the queer community. So just so you know, I did come from a conservative Christian environment where I had to, as I came out, I had to find a new community because my faith community was not real supportive of me being gay. Even though I've maintained and retained some of those friends, a lot of them, I had to go through a period of finding my own tribe to reinforce and affirm who I am, because I wasn't getting that. I may still have the friendships, but there's still a sense of who I am is not appropriate or is not what God wants. So with those Christian friends, but my new friends are obviously supporting me as who I am. It's my queer community. Throughout my life, I've had to rely on different people to kind of boost my sense of community and well-being. And interestingly, though, I'm thankful for my Christian friends, or those friends that don't believe at the core that what I'm doing as a gay man is okay or God ordained. They still provide, as I've maintained those friendships over time, over a couple of decades now, they still provide a sense of belonging and community when maybe I'm not feeling as great about my queer friends, or feeling known or accepted by my queer friends. My Christian friends have known me a lot longer than my newer queer friends. So I get this sense of belonging in different ways from different groups of people at different times. It's a challenging journey as a queer person to find your tribe, to find your allies, because of all the conflict we've had about, even internal conflict we feel about towards ourselves, but also what our culture, our church, our communities are saying about us. So I know it's not easy, it gets complicated and confusing, but it's worth the effort to find your tribe, to do what you can to connect with people that have similar values and interests, and to keep trying over time, and even sustain some of the people that maybe don't agree fully with who you are, what you're doing, but feel a connection to you. I think it's good to continue to have those conversations with those people, as long as they support you for who you are and not attacking you in any way. I think it's worth investing some time in trying to sustain those relationships. At least for me, that's been important. Even though they don't agree with me personally, they support me as a person. I think it's good for them, people from different perspectives, and for me to try to work through some of those differences. I think their minds are being changed, and I think even in that relationship, they're influencing me and supporting me in my journey. So the people I've come across who have become my allies in my tribe are my life support. They are my accountability. They are my anchors. They've shown me that belonging isn't something you just stumble into, even though that might happen. It's something you build, it's something you invest in, it's something you work at over time. And honestly, I don't think without my tribe, I would have survived, literally. And also, I don't think this channel, this Good Life channel, would be in existence if I didn't have this tribe, these allies that have been so instrumental in helping me boost my mental health, sustain my well-being, and just help me live a good life. Because the whole idea of a good life project, of finding purpose and meaning and well-being, was born from a community that supported who I am and believe in who I'm becoming. All right, so let's move into application for today. And it's fairly simple, but it could be life-changing and a turning point in your project. So first, I want you to identify your allies and write down at least one person. Hopefully you can think of more than one, but somebody that you can be fully yourself around, or maybe not fully yourself if that's not somebody you have in your life, but somebody you can be more yourself around. And these are people who can support you for who you are, but also support your growth and will challenge you in your project, at least by keeping you accountable, reminding you of your good life project that you want to work on. And number two, in terms of practical application, ask for reflection from your friends. You can reach out to your friends and tell them that they are part of your inner circle, your allies, your tribe. Maybe they don't know that. Maybe you haven't said that to them before. And that you're doing this good life project and you could use their support and accountability in trying to make sure that you complete it. By doing this, you'll hopefully find an increase in belonging, and that maybe they will reciprocate and share with you some of what they're dealing with and they need support about. And if you don't have a tribe that you currently can rely on, this is the opportunity to build on that. So maybe part of your project is actually building a tribe, building a sense of community. I've had to do that at different times in my life, later in life. I know it gets more challenging as you get older, but when I got laid off of a job not too long ago, I think 5-6 years ago, and moved back to my hometown of Cincinnati, I had to reinvent myself again, and which meant finding new friends and new community. So I started with a local church that was gay friendly. I went to a PFLAG meeting, which is parents and friends of lesbians and gays. I've started to build a community there. I shared my story at a local storytelling gathering. I'm trying to invest in that community as well. So find people who align with your interests. Join a meetup group, start a group yourself, a movie club, a book club, anything to begin to reach out to people and find your tribe, find your allies. And the last point of application here is to find your accountability partner. So I mentioned earlier that you want to kind of find at least one person you can get some feedback from, but then also find somebody that you can be held accountable to. Find someone who can ask you, how's your project going? As light accountability to keep motivated in advancing your project. It's important to remember here that accountability isn't pressure, it's partnership. So you want to invite people to be partners with you, to collaborate with you on this project. So as we close, let me share a summary statement. The people around you shape the person you become. When you find your allies and your tribe, life stops feeling like a solo climb and starts feeling like an exciting, adventurous expedition, one where everyone gets a little bit stronger on the journey together. Tomorrow, we will explore the next stage of this compass journey, which is the first S, which stands for sacred anchors and core values, to help you, again, clarify what's most important to you and stay grounded on that. Research shows that if you can be in alignment with your core values, live by them consistently, that alone boosts your well-being, but also helps you make greater advances in life and hopefully with this good life project you're working on. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you're interested in joining a gay men's accountability group and support group to help you explore these ideas that I've been sharing, join the waitlist in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great rest of your day.